Dear learners, welcome to PharmaTriox. Today we are going to discuss alkaloids from pharmacognosy. Let us start our session with the definition of alkaloid. Alkaloid is a nitrogenous organic molecule that has a pharmacological effect on humans and animals. It is a basic substance and it is derived from two words, alkali and oid. Alkali means base and oid means like. So alkaloid means basic like substance. It have one or more nitrogen atom. Alkaloids are insoluble in water and soluble in organic solvents. They are colorless, odorless and crystalline solid in nature. But every rule has some exception. Nicotine and quinine are volatile liquids. Berberine is yellow colored. Colchicine and physostigmine have unpleasant odor. Alkaloids are optically active and the levoisomer is more active. Let us move to the next slide. Chemical tests for alkaloids. These are the general tests to identify alkaloids, and these are very important in all the competitive examinations. Let us have a glimpse on this. First one is Dragendorff test. The reagent is potassium bismuth iodide and alkaloids. On Dragendorff test, it gives orangish red color. Next one is Meyer's test. Meyer's reagent is potassium mercuric iodide and alkaloids with the potassium mercuric iodide give creamy white precipitate. Next one is Hager's test. Reagent is saturated aqueous solution of picric acid and it gives crystalline yellow precipitate with alkaloids. Next one is Wagner's test. Reagent is iodine in potassium iodide. It gives reddish brown precipitate with alkaloid. Another one is tannic acid test. Reagent is tannic acid solution and it gives buff colored precipitate with alkaloids. We are moving to classification of alkaloids. These are classified into true or typical alkaloids, protoalkaloids, pseudoalkaloids and false alkaloids. True or typical alkaloids, these are derived from amino acids and have nitrogen atom in heterocyclic ring. Example is atropine. Next one is protoalkaloids. These are derived from amino acids and do not have nitrogen in heterocyclic ring. Example for protoalkaloids, ephedrine and colchicum. Next one is pseudoalkaloids. These are not derived from amino acids but have nitrogen atom in a heterocyclic ring. Example, caffeine. And the last one is false alkaloids. These are not alkaloids and give false reaction with alkaloidal reagents. Next one is biosynthetic classification of alkaloids. These are classified based on the precursor from the alkaloids are derived. Indole and quinoline alkaloids precursor is tryptophan. Piperidine alkaloids like lobeline precursor is lysine. Pyrrolidine and propane alkaloids precursor is ornithine. Phenylethylamine and isoquinoline precursor is tyrosine. And imidazole alkaloids are derived from histidine. Next one is pharmacological classification. Morphine is a narcotic analgesic. Lobeline is a respiratory stimulant. Boldeine as cholerectic. Quinine as antimalarial. Ergonovine as oxytocic. Ephedrine as bronchodilator and pilocarpine as meiotic. And next one is classification based on the basic ring. Pyrrole and pyrrolidine ring are seen in hydrine, nicotine, cuscohydrine, coca alkaloids. Biological sources are Erythroxylum coca, Erythroxylum proxylens. Pyridine and piperidine rings are seen in piperine, conine, trigonelline, ericaidine, guaifin, pilocarpine, etc. Biological sources are Piper nigrum, Erica catechu, Lobelia nicotianifolia. Next, pyrrolizidine ring. These are seen in ecimidine, senecionine, senesiphyllene, and symphytine. Biological source Cassionospermum australe, etc. And next one is propane. Atropine, cocaine, agonine, scopolamine, hyoscine-like alkaloids have propane basic nucleus, and biological sources are Atropa belladonna, Datura stramonium, Erythroxylum coca, etc. Next one is alkaloids with quinoline ring. Quinine, quinidine, brucine, veratrine, dihydroquinone. These are examples of quinine containing alkaloids. Biological sources include Syngona officinalis, Syngona calicea, etc. Next one is alkaloids with isoquinoline basic nucleus. Morphine, codeine, thebaine, papaverine, narcotine. These substances have isoquinoline as basic nucleus. Biological sources are Papaver somniferum, Cephalis ipecac, Berberis aristata, Aristolochia elegans, etc. Next one is alkaloids with indole nucleus. Psilocybin, serotonin, melatonin, reserpine, vincristine, vinblastine, strychnine. These are examples of alkaloids with indole nucleus. Biological sources Richness nexvomica, Claviceps purpura, Rauwolfia serpentina, etc. Next one is alkaloids with imidazole nucleus. Pilocarpine is an example of alkaloid with imidazole nucleus. Biological sources include Pilocarpus jaborandi, etc. Next one is alkaloids with purine basic nucleus. Caffeine, theobromine, theophylline are purine containing alkaloids. Example Theobroma cacao, Coffea arabica. Now we are going to discuss indole alkaloids. Indole alkaloids are derived from tryptophan. These include Physostigma, ergot, Rauwolfia, vinga, and nexvomica. I have included one mnemonic to memorize indole alkaloids very easily. Indole alkaloid is a pervert. So, perv, P for Physostigma, E for ergot, R for Rauwolfia, V for vinga, and vomica, that is nexvomica. So, mnemonic is indole alkaloid is a pervert. Now we are moving to individual indole alkaloids. First one is Physostigma. Biological source Physostigma venenosum, family Leguminosae. Chemical constituents physostigmine, that is also known as eucerin, and is mainly used as treatment of glaucoma. Next alkaloid is vinga. Biological source is Catharanthus roseus, family Apocynaceae. chemical constants are vincristine and vinblastine. These are mainly used as anti-cancer agents. Next one is ergot. Biological source is Claviceps purpurea, family Clavicipitaceae. Chemical constants are ergotamine and ergometrin. It is mainly used as treatment of migraine and as an oxytocic. Next one is Rauwolfia. Biological source is Rauwolfia serpentina and family is Athocinaceae, and main chemical constants are reserpine, jumalicin, yohimbine, and is mainly used as antihypertensive. And the last one is Nux vomica. Biological source is Strychnus nux vomica and its family is Loganiaceae, and chemical constants, main chemical constants are strychnine and brucine, and it is mainly used as a rodenticide. Now we are going to discuss some of the important points you have to remember in the indole alkaloids. These are very important and frequently asking in competitive examination. Ergot is the dried sclerotium of a fungus Claviceps purpurea belonging to family Clavicipitaceae and developing in the ovary of rye plant Sickle cereal. The next one is chemical test for ergot alkaloids. Ergot plus Van Oort's reagent gives blue color, and Van Oort's reagent is para-dimethyl amino benzaldehyde. This is very important. You have to remember the Van Oort's reagent, and this Van Oort's test is specific for indole alkaloids, and it gives blue color with ergot, and with Rauwolfia it gives violet red color. Next one is the Nux vomica contain loganin as glycoside. We have already mentioned the alkaloids of Nux vomica, and it contains loganin as glycosides. Next point is strychnine stimulates spinal cord by depressing inhibitory center. So strychnine stimulates spinal cord by depressing inhibitory center. Next, the synonyms of vinga. Vinga is also known as catharanthus and periwinkle. Physostigma is also known as ordeal beans, calabar beans, and Rauwolfia is also known as sarpagandha, Indian snake root. And this is one of the very important point, that is stratified cork is characteristic of Rauwolfia. Then reserpine on hydrolysis yields reserpic acid, methyl alcohol, and trimethoxybenzoic acid. Another important point is pseudoparenchyma is present in ergot. So these are the very important points you have to remember in indole alkaloids. Next one is tropane alkaloids. Tropane alkaloids are derived from phenylalanine and ornithine. This includes belladonna, datura, stramonium, duboisia, hyoscyamus, and coca. I have included one mnemonic to memorize these tropane alkaloids. BDS doctor have cocaine. B for belladonna, D for datura, S for stramonium, D for duboisia, H for hyoscyamus, C for coca. So remember the mnemonic: PDS doctor have cocaine. Now we are moving into some of the important tropane alkaloids. First one is belladonna. This belladonna, datura, stramonium, duboisia, and hyoscyamus, they are from the same family, Solanaceae, and these plants have chemical constants are the same: atropine, hyoscine and hyoscyamine. So belladonna biological source is Atropa belladonna, family is Solanaceae, and chemical constituents atropine, hyoscine and hyoscyamine. These are used to reduce rigidity in Parkinsonism and as an antidote of parasympathomimetics. Next one is Datura, biological source is Datura metal and its family is Solanaceae, chemical constant same: atropine, hyoscine, hyoscyamine, and the uses also same. Reduces rigidity in Parkinsonism and antidote of parasympathomimetics. Next one is Stramonium, biological source is Datura stramonium, family Solanaceae, chemical constituents atropine, hyoscine, hyoscyamine, and uses is same as above. Duboisia, biological source is Duboisia myoporites, family Solanaceae, chemical constituents atropine, hyoscine and hyoscyamine, and the uses is same as above. And next one from the same family Solanaceae, Hyoscyamus, biological source is Hyoscyamus niger, chemical constituents atropine, hyoscine and hyoscyamine, and the uses is same as above. These all are used to reduce the rigidity in Parkinsonism and as an antidote of parasympathomimetics. And another one is Coca. This is from a different family, Erythroxylaceae, and the biological source is Erythroxylone coca. And its chemical constant, major chemical constituents are cocaine and ergonin, and it is used as a local anesthetic. Now we are going to discuss some of the important points from propane alkaloids. First one is the synonym of belladonna. It is also known as deadly nightshade. The next one is datura. Its synonym is angel's trumpet. The next one is ammonia. Its another name is thorn apple. The next one is hyoscyamus. It is also known as henbane. And Duboisia is also known as cork tree. The coca contains propane alkaloids and pyrrolidine alkaloids. Propane alkaloids are cocaine and ergonin, and pyrrolidine alkaloids are hygrine and nicotine. Next one is Vitali-Morin reaction. These tests are specific for propane alkaloids. Atropine in presence of sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide, it gives purple color. So this is very important. You have to remember this test. Atropine plus sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide give purple color. And another important point is that belladonna contains anisocytic stomata, that is cruciferous stomata. And microsphenoid calcium crystals are found in belladonna. And one of the important point is you have to remember L-hyoscyamine undergo aldol condensation during biosynthesis. So these are all about propane alkaloids. These are the very important points. So learn it. We are moving on to the next slide. Purine alkaloids. Purine contains double carbon ring containing 4 nitrogen atoms. It consists of 6-membered pyrimidine ring fused with a 5-membered imidazole ring. Purine alkaloids are pseudoalkaloids. We have already mentioned about pseudoalkaloids in the classification of alkaloids. The purine alkaloids are derived from xanthosine monophosphate. They have CNS stimulant effect, and it relaxes bronchial smooth muscles, and it also have diuretic effect. The purine alkaloids are caffeine, eobromine, eophyllene. All are methyl derivatives of xanthine. we can see the chemical structures of caffeine, theobromine and theophylline. So these are methyl derivatives of xanthine. It is very important to know the chemical names of these compounds. Caffeine is 1,3,7-trimethyl-xanthine, theophylline is 1,3-dimethyl-xanthine, and theobromine is 3,7-dimethyl-xanthine. So purine alkaloids are caffeine, theobromine and theophylline. We are moving on to the next slide. Biological source and family of purine alkaloid containing plants. Cocoa, biological source is Theobroma cacao, family Serpulaceae. Coffee, biological source is Coffea arabica, family Rubiaceae. Tea, biological source is Thea sinensis, family Theaceae. Now we are going to discuss some of the important points you have to remember in competitive examination point of view. Purine alkaloids does not precipitate with Mayer's reagent. In the beginning of our lectures, we have already discussed general test for alkaloids. In that, Mayer's test also there. So purine alkaloids does not precipitate with the Mayer's reagent. Next test is Murex-Tate test. Murex-Tate test is very important. Purine alkaloids in the presence of hydrochloric acid, potassium chloride crystal and ammonia give purple color. And this purple color disappears in the addition of fixed alkali. The Murex-Tate test is very important. It is specific for purine alkaloids. Purine alkaloids in presence of hydrochloric acid, potassium chloride, ammonia give purple color. In addition with fixed alkali, the purple color disappears. The next test is caffeine plus tannic acid. It gives white precipitate. Another important point is that cocoa butter is used as suppository base. In coffee, caffeine is present as ester called chlorogenic acid. The enzyme present in tea leaves is TAse. The color of tea leaf is due to gallotannic acid. So these are the important points. In coffee, caffeine is present as ester called chlorogenic acid. TAse is the enzyme present in tea leaf, and the color of tea leaf is due to the tannin, that is gallotannic acid. We are moving on to the next category, steroidal alkaloids. They contain mainly steroidal entity along with basic nitrogen, that is steroidal entity cyclopentanophenandrine. The plants are ashwagandha, kurchi, veratrum. These are steroidal alkaloids containing plants. These are very important. So remember, ashwagandha, kurchi, veratrum, these contain steroidal alkaloids. Next, the plant biological source, family, chemical constant and uses of these steroidal alkaloids. First one is ashwagandha. Biological source is Withania somnifera, family Solanaceae. Main chemical constants are withanine, somniferin, pseudowithanine, anaferin, and it is used as to treat nervous disorders and used as a tranquilizer. Next plant is kurchi. Kurchi biological source is Olerana antidysenterica. family Apocynaceae. Chemical constituents are conazine, phenaramine, phonimine, phonamine, etc. And the uses are: it is used as stomachic, astringent, tonic, antidysenteric, etc. The next plant is Veratrum. Biological source: Veratrum viridae and Veratrum album. Both are belongs to family Liliaceae, and chemical constants are gervin, pseudogervin, savadin, germitrin, germidin, etc. And is mainly used as antihypertensive, cardiac depressant, sedative, and insecticide. These are the synonyms of steroid containing alkaloids. Veratrum is also known as American hellebore, green hellebore, American veratrum. Kutsi is also known as Colarena. Ashwagandha is also known as winter cherry. Let's conclude our session. Thank you.